we made the movie. This was my big attempt at, I wasn't acting. I had done a movie before called Ring of Fear, with the Clyde Beatty Circus, Pat O'Brien, me, and 10,000 animals running around, which was a lot of fun. And they pulled me out of my comfortable quarters down here to play the part of Mike Hammer in the Girl Hunters. They were going to shoot the picture in England. I had never met Shirley Eaton. I didn't know who she was, but over there she's a very popular television and motion picture star. And she was one of the nicest women I've ever met. Now, I met a lot of TV people, I met a lot of movie people, but I never met one who had this wonderful personality outside of Lee Meredith. Those two women were absolutely fantastic. They were great. They were great to be with. These were the type of women that men just looked at and went, wow, crazy over, because mainly it was their personalities. Both of them were beautiful women, gorgeously, mentally and physically endowed with everything. When I met Shirley, we became good friends, which is great to do because both she and Lee had a common thing. They would give things to the other person. They would give situations to another actor. Now, most actors want to take it for themselves, but they saw a way of giving things that actually it enhanced the motion picture or the TV shows that we were doing. But we became such friends. We were roaming around the city of London together, because she knew the city pretty well, and I only knew it on a very light basis. So wherever we went, the two of us were together. But every time we did, we had a flock of photographers with us, because they were taking pictures of her, and me being from the United States over there, and I was pretty well known at the time. We get all this wild publicity by doing nothing. But she and I we always were good with the reporters and whatnot, so they stayed with us, gave us the best press you've ever seen. To the point where a lot of the other actors got pretty well teed off at us because we were in every newspaper over there. But we would do things that other people wouldn't do. Both of us were museum happy. We went to outlandish things. We went to a place where dishes were being shown. Now, I wanted to go there because I was a great one for certain pieces of pottery, and so was she. When they found out we knew about these things, they covered us like a little blanket. They thought this was wonderful, and I think that Mike Hammer knew so much about British pottery. And of course, again, it was offhand. It wasn't something we planned for. It just worked. And we were nice people. We weren't drinkers and smokers or got in trouble or anything. One time, though, it was real funny. We were having a rewrite on a scene for some reason. And we had to study our lines real fast. When you're on a set, there's no place you can go that you can really be comfortable with just to sit and just do lines. Now, we had about 2 hours to get ready for the scene. So Shirley and I, we went into this little, it was a scene of an old bedroom in a dirty old, now there was no dirt, it was all painted dirt. It was made to look like it was a dirty hotel room for another picture, what's our picture. We went into there, and there was a bed there, and we were sitting on the edge of the bed doing the lines back and forth. And Shirley, she just leaned back against the pillow on the back here, and it looked like she was sleeping. I'm sitting on it. So I lay down next to her. And we said, now this is wide open. One side of the whole thing is facing out toward the set where they're working, doing all this stuff. I mean, this wasn't a room by itself. It was a fake room. The whole front was gone. So anyway, everybody could look at it and watch us. And here we are, we're reciting doing our things, our lines together, because you can't do any acting on where we were in bed, But anyway, a photographer came by, and he wasn't one of the good photographers. And he said, aha, clicker. He takes a picture of Shirley and me in bed. We're clothes. We got our costumes on, for Pete's sake. Well, boy, that thing hits the paper. One of these things like the National Enquirer they got over there. And the stuff hits the fan. Whoa, what's happening here? And then a reporter from the TV came up to me and says, we saw that picture of you and Shirley in bed. He says, yeah, we were studying our lines. Any place you go there in the whole place to do it. The guy said, oh, I sure the whole thing was facing the scene. Anybody could just look in there and do that and see us. But that thing really looked real. It looked like somebody come in, just peeked in a window and took a picture of us. But that didn't last. I mean, all the other papers blew that story right out the window. So, you know, what a stupid thing to say. Because they realized what was happening. I'll tell you another thing happened over there with Shirley and I. There was a guy over there with two great criminals over there. One's name was Jack Spot, the other was, oh gee whiz, because right on my head. Anyway, Jack Spot was a lesser criminal. And I didn't know him. When we moved into this funny little English hotel, the Rembrandt Hotel in London, and the second day I was there, Jack Spot came in. I didn't know who Jack Spot was. It seems very British sounding, Jack Spot. Actually, his name was Jack Comma, so he changed it to Jack Spot. Anyway, he came in and he's talking about, he wanted to talk to me about all the boys in New York and whatnot. And I didn't know this guy was a top-notch gangster. And we're talking about the ones he's talking about to me were the ones I knew from the news. I know a couple of them personally, but they were nothing special. They were nuisance type of hoods. Yeah, we talked for a while, and he went out, and about 10 minutes later, in comes the guy who could have been right straight from Central Casting. A British detective with a bowler hat on and an ulster coat, and he used to take he really do this with a pencil, suck it on the end of a pencil before he wrote. You know how kids would do it anyway. I thought it was funny. But he wrote, he said, I understand that Mr. Spot was here to visit you. Yeah, Jack Spot his name was, strange name. He said, what was the gist of your conversation? I said, I wish I could figure it out. He was talking about everybody in New York, and half the guys I didn't know. And I said, and he's taking it down very diligently. He said, I thank you very much. And after he identified himself, he was from Scotland Yard, you know. Anyway, he left. Now there's another gangster over there who is the top gangster in all of England. Now, during World War II, I understand from what I've been told, because he was a very secretive operative, they had dropped him behind the German lines, and he raised a roof over there. He blew up more trains and more ammunition dumps and whatnot. So he was sort of a Robin Hood of the group. So anyway, he was a tough-looking guy. You take a look at him, he had a face on him, you know. He's not the kind of a guy you want to mess with. He was just a tough man, but a nice guy. And he came outside this was the MGM studios. He said, hey, my name is, I forget his name, I'll think of it in a minute. He came up, we shook hands, and he said, I'd like to see that picture you're making. I said, sure. Come on in tomorrow. I think we were just leaving to go home that night. Come on in tomorrow. Just tell him I said it's okay to come on the set. So the next day he comes on the set, and we have a very fuss-budgety little guy, an assistant director there, and he was given these little odd jobs to do. One of his jobs was to keep people from wandering around the set. So in comes Billy Hill. That's the guy I'm talking about. Now Billy walks on, and this little guy doesn't recognize him. Everybody in London knows this guy. But it's like Al Capone walking on the set, you know. But this guy's no Al Capone. He's a well-built guy. He's got a military record and all that. He walks on the set. And this little fuss budget is, oh, who's that man? I don't know who he is. Hey, he's, well, Mickey Spillane invited him. Well, he can't do that. This little fuss budget is really carving up the scenes there. We're talking about he was in charge of keep having people come on the set. Anyway, are you done with that, moving that camera? Sorry. Okay, all right. And I said to Billy Hill on the way out, I said, Billy, if we're going to go out, he's saying the whole damn thing. On the way out, I said, now, this little guy going to come out. I said, you know who I'm talking about? He said, yeah, I know who you're talking about. And he called him a funny name of the British pseudonym for someone. Anyway, I said, when he comes out, I'm going to be facing him, and I'll give you the signal. You turn, just give him a dirty look. Please. Yeah. Anyway, out comes. Other guys were watching for this little film. This news got around real fast what we're going to do. And finally, this little guy he's the last one out. He comes out, he's looking for Billy Hill because he knows that Billy Hill, oh boy, Billy Hill's mad at you. And everybody passed the word to this little guy. And out comes his little assistant director. He's trying to walk behind another guy. The guy gets backing away. And Billy Hill turns around. There he is. Billy turns and gives him a look. I thought the guy was going to faint. Billy just stared at him and stared at the poor guy. He melted. How old stuff he's going to melt? Fool. Anyway, the next time Billy Hill come back on the set, he said to me, we were that day. I said, we were using a 45. It's a Spanish llama. It looks like a 45, but this darn thing kept misfiring. And I said, gee, I wish I had a decent. Guys, what do you know? I said, we need a 45. I said, Billy said, I'll bring all you want. You don't get all the guns you want. You know, handguns are prohibitive. And the next day, Billy Hill comes in. He's got a gunny sack. And he goes over to the table, the prop table, and he dumps all the stuff out. Ammunition, everything. He was live. You know, there's nothing funny about this. And the prop boy went out of his mind. You're supposed to do this. You don't do this in England. You don't a whole gunny sack full of guns and ammunition. Take what you want. You know? We had all the 45s we need for the picture. Oh, boy. That's strange. You know, these are funny things that happen. We had a guy, we were doing a picture. One of the scenes, I said, I want to do a real stunt. I don't think you didn't put a stunt in. At that time, I was younger and I was pretty athletic and all that sort of stuff. And I had to be, the dragon and I, that was the name of the villain in the picture, we're having this fight on the thing and I have to fall over and fall into a box, bunch of cardboard boxes that were stacked up along. Now, it looks dangerous. These boxes, they collapse under your weight. There's no trouble doing that. But it's supposed to be in an old barn. Now, living up in Newburgh, where I used to live there, we have chickens and there's supposed to be a chicken barn, see? Now, a chicken barn's got full of feathers. Now, they have no feathers in them. I said, this is not real. I go out and get feathers. And when I hit that thing, instead of dust come out, I want feathers to fly. Because, you know, the feathers are going to go up in the air and they'll look real exciting. So they didn't quite see that. I said, just go give me a bag of feathers. Well, he said, guys, I don't know where you got the feathers. Go buy a couple of big bags of feathers. And we sprinkle them all over the thing. Now, comes a time when I told the stomach, I said, you stay out of this. I'm going to fall into that thing myself. He said, you're not going to get hurt now. I said, I'm going to get obliged. No, I won't get hurt. If I get hurt, I will yell. How about that? Anyway, the stuck one hit him, I hit that stuff, and the feathers flew up, and the dust came with it. I got so dirty in that thing, you know. But it worked beautifully, you know. And the poor old art director, he said, you're crazy, man. We had a thing with Shirley Eaton in this pool we got there. And I'm supposed to go up to the pool, which I do, and I'm dressed up in my black suit, and she's in swimming, and boy, she looks great in the water, you know. And that scene is right. Now that pool, it looks like a swimming pool, and when you look at it in the movies, it looks like the deep end's here and the shallow end's there. It's all funny. That thing is 20 feet deep, and they shoot underwater scenes in there, including submarine scenes and all that. There's a big pool. But they're like Hollywood. They fake it out on you. You don't know that is a great, big, deep setup. So, at nighttime, now there was a blizzard blowing outside. It was cold as the sun was going on, but they had all these big brutes, the big lights on, and at night we'd turn them on. Everybody going home, but we stayed there and go swimming at night. And the big brute lights, they were heaters keeping us warm. So, anyway, when we go up on the ladders and get in the overhead, and the catwalks up there, and we dive into the water. Another good drop down, because those things are high, because they have, movie studios are great big empty barns like this. I always would go home with the producer or the director. These little bitty cars that British have. But, it's not like us. We can't pile a dozen guys into little British cars. This is the way it was then, but now the cars are bigger. So Bob said there was a producer. He says, where's Spillane? I haven't seen him. And Roy, our director, said, I thought he was with you. Now this is after about 5 days, and then each one thought I was going home with the other one. And they got this, I haven't seen him for all this time. The other one's tonight, didn't see him either. They said something's happening at the studio. So they got back in the car, they dashed back to the studio, and they come inside, all the lights are on, everybody's in there swimming, the crew's in there having a lot of fun. And I'm up on the high beam. And Roy takes a look at me up there, he says, "Get off there!" And I said, "Okay," and I told him, and I'm coming down, and I could hear him say, "Not like that!" Ah, man, we hit the water. They were, the British had a lot of, we hadn't made an American picture over there for quite a while. We had, funny things would happen. Our American bunch were living in a hotel, in a Rembrandt Hotel. And the British don't get up early like we do. Now, the golden hours, see, we're up, at 5 o'clock, we're up there. We're over at the studio now before anybody else shows up. They have a different timing setup. So the people work in hotels. And we come in the morning, the cooks had to come in. Now, so we went out to the kitchen, and there was big coffee, and we sat around, and we got everything going for them. Now, in come the poor old cooks. By this time, we've all finished up. We made our bacon and eggs, and we did everything. And they could go. They were saying, "Oh, what happened? What happened? What happened?" Nothing. We just made breakfast. You guys weren't here. But who made the coffee? We know how to make the coffee, man. Because coffee isn't a big drink, but we started their big coffee drinking at the Rembrandt Hotel there. But we got everything going for them. Well, these poor guys were so disconcerted. They tried to beat us in every day. We kept deliberately getting up earlier and earlier so they could never get there before us. And besides, here's a funny thing with the British. They serve these beautiful cucumber sandwiches. And everybody's name is Peter. And Peter was the head waiter in the restaurant. And Peter said, "What do you want for lunch?" He said, "How about some of those cucumber sandwiches? But don't cut off the crust," we told him. "Don't cut off the crust, sir." Who ever heard of eating bread without the crust cut off? No, that's about leave the crust on. Well, he came in with his plate of cucumber sandwiches, which were very tasty, by the way. He put them down and put them on a plate and stepped back to watch us eat them with the crust on. No, they'd eat other sandwiches with the crust on, but cucumber sandwiches you didn't eat with the crust on. And he couldn't get over that. And another thing, I remember, they don't put ketchup on steak, or they didn't at that time. And I said to the waiter, I said, "Do you have any ketchup?" And he says, "Tomato sauce on steak, sir." I said, "Yeah, tomato sauce on steak." And he brings in a bottle and he puts it down like some blood and sits there in front of me to watch what I'm going to do with it. I put on a High Gardner, the old columnist, was on the show with us. He did his part. Now he had to go back to the United States. He had a TV show in New York that time too. And before he left, he gave me a lovely gift, a nice little box of ketchup with about 6 bottles in it so I could take it out when I eat outside. What's funny, when you sit outside, you go to a fancy restaurant like the Ivy, and you order a steak, and it brings a steak, you reach your pocket, take out your bottle of ketchup and put it up there. I ate there the Ivy one time, and there was another man, he says, "Where'd you get the ketchup from?" I said, "Hey, 3 guys, can I have some of that too?" There was no ketchup on. There were other fancy sauces, very expensive and very good tasting, but how strange is it? You get away from the United States, suddenly you want peanut butter. Or you want bread, plain old bread like you get in the store. Not the breads over there were, oh man, the food was great. I liked it, I had a lot of good times with it. But like a good tourist, I went to see things that ordinary people, the people who live there, don't go to see them. Heck, here I'm out of New York. I had an office in the Empire State Building. I was never up to the top of that. I was never in the Statue of Liberty. I could see it all the time. I never had a desire to go to those places. But you get over into London, you go out into the Tower of London and see all these wonderful things. Gee whiz. Look at Henry VIII. Boy, you watch him when he's nice, all these pictures, you see a great big fat guy. When you watch him, there's a first suit of armor with a nice slim thing, next a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, to find that big thing. Now, how he got into that thing, I don't know. But he had his next to the last suit of armor, the very special thing. They had the way he was built, had a thing they call a codpiece down here, and show off his masculinity, I guess. There were two girls standing in front of me when we were looking at this thing. They were looking at the way that suit of armor was built. One girl said, "Who the heck did he think he was?" They looked back at me because I was laughing. She's, "Who?" That's the way they were. You know, you can't fault them on these things. London was